May 27th. A cavalcade of events throughout history occurred on this day. The Golden Gate Bridge's opening in 1937, the British Royal Navy sinking the German battleship Bismarck in 1941, the start of construction on the Walt Disney World in Florida of 1969, iconic Superman actor and Robin Williams' roommate Christopher Reeve getting the rest of his life changed after a horseback riding accident left him paralyzed in 1995. It's also the day I graduated high school, where I'm at my most uncertain, excited, and confused stage of my life I've ever been, but we'll get to that in a bit. After his injury, Christopher Reeve felt like his life, his career, were understandably ruined and practically over. So over that he was contemplating ending it all right then and there. Only to be met with the steadfast, undying love and support from his wife, Dana, to keep living on. They made a pact to wait for 2 years to see if he wanted to change his decision.
But that I would be there for the long run, no matter what.
Well, his resolve led to an uplifting standing ovation at the 60th Academy Awards in 1996, the establishment of the Reeve Foundation in 1999, demonstrating himself as a voice in the fight for curing spinal cord injuries, and he wrote a memoir the year before aptly titled
Still Me.
Resilience, Resilience, Resilience was the message he embodied, lived in, and fought for another half-decade before his unfortunate passing in 2004. If that doesn't scream Superman, I don't know what does. Yada yada, a couple more years go down the line. Just trying to find this stuff here and then... Wait, what? Oh! Then James Gunn comes into the picture. Now, as you guys probably know, there's this new DC Cinematic Universe coming out that the thrillingly bombastic, comic-loving director James Gunn has in his fingertips alongside producer Peter Safran. In their first breakthrough movie, in their Chapter 1 Gods and Monsters phase, which is a really cool title, is the epitome of all superheroism, Superman, which is due to release in a couple of days by the time this video's out. Now, a lot of people are loving the reboot, and a lot of people are hating it. And there's plenty of outlandish opinions for everybody to latch onto for this movie. There's literally, it's practically endless. But for me personally, I think this movie is not only going to bring about a new era of DC goodness, but a way for James Gunn to show us his evolution as a director, and more so as a person. Beside the obviously high expectations this movie has going for it, there was another reason why Christopher Reeve matters as much as he does for this movie to work. Many people saw his portrayal as the stereotypically bright and blue Boy Scout who could do no wrong. Not the dark, cynical, and gritty ooga booga fight space Jesus in the Snyderverse. He also had an innocence about him that resonated with everybody, adults and kids alike, for almost 50 years at this point. Already insanely high standards, I know. And the actor's actual transformation into an activist looking to make other lives beyond the silver screen better made his mark on the world indelible, turning into someone who finds every moment of life all the more precious. Even higher standards. And I totally understand why Gunn would be nervous to take on such a titan of a legacy. But during production, as his confidence in the film's message grew, Gunn decided to forego the legacy and just kept it as is. Superman. He's being handed a torch that's been passed down from plenty of directors before him, but I think all missed the point in their iterations. A lot of what Superman's about has to do with his faith in himself, faith in the work he's put, faith in the good and industrious people that surround him. And I think Gunn is no different. It's Gunn's faith that this generation will connect with this Man of Steel, that being kind is cool again. From what I've seen of all the promo and behind the scenes of the movie, and what I'm continuing to see as I'm making the video, everyone involved is completely immersed and held captive by the story of finding yourself in a world that tries to define you. And that couldn't be more certain in anyone else than the director, James Gunn. Now James is known for making crazy, wacky comic book characters the average person has never heard of prior into household names. Think of Guardians and Peacemaker. And each of these stories deal with outsiders, flawed people, making mistakes, screwing up, doing life. But when they find a sense of belonging in each other, empathy and companionship cut through any thick fog of hopelessness. Found families growing together. It's no surprise why Gunn's favorite Guardian is Rocket Raccoon. Because just as Rocket underwent a painful, emotional arc throughout the trilogy for an eye-opening breakthrough in Volume 3, Gunn's stretching his personal arc, his emotional, painful, eye-opening breakthrough as well through the course of his entire filmography. He expressed himself harshly to those around him and hid his feelings and deeper insecurities under a shroud of dark humor, and sacrificed chances with people he really could have connected with, which could have given him his need to be loved.
By Disney and let go. For a beat there, it was like, holy shit. I have been working my entire life to be loved by all of these people, by the world, so that I can feel okay about myself. And everything I've worked for is gone. I thought that I was going to have to sell my house, move away, that my career was completely over. But the thing that was so amazing to me was in that moment of lowness, when I couldn't help anyone, is when people came to me and showed me the greatest love. People like you, especially my future wife, Jen, my family, my mom and dad, Chris Pratt, Dave Bautista, Pom Clementieff, all the Guardians, Zoe coming over and cooking me dinner. I felt like for the first time in my life, I felt loved. And so that thing that I had been searching for my entire life, to feel loved from something outside of me, to make myself feel okay, I could not experience it until I let go of my desperation to receive it. And that was when I felt truly okay.
While Gunn does explore vast undertones of the human condition in all of his films, he continues to keep this. Being in touch with yourself is the launch pad towards how to be better and learning the fruits of compassion. That you need to let go with feeling that you need to be loved outside yourself. And you do just that by showing compassion to at least one person. You can accept the world, you can accept circumstances, you can even accept people as what they are and what is. But if you don't accept yourself, what good does it do? And honestly, looking back, the behind the scenes for this movie, it feels like there's a different vibe James Gunn's going for here. And it's not like he's actively working against his creative process and formula and storytelling. It's more like he's taking it and polishing it, bit by bit, according to his own growth and maturity. Gunn loves dialogue that makes people react like crazy in the theater, but grew to love some subtlety and jokes. For Soups, he's kind of stripping it back a little bit. He makes the action sick while also making sure it serves a story. In Superman, still great at that. And Gunn's preferences for licensed pre-made soundtracks in his films were to show the emotional arcs happening, the through line. But for Superman, he decided to create the emotional arcs in the movie through a score. One that's original, personal, and from the heart. Like Superman, you know? Yeah. This is not the same intense, brash individual from 10 years ago back at Marvel. With the things he said and done, good or bad, brought the man we see today. The same one who's grown, who's evolved, to stress the value of kindness and compassion in all places and all people. And if that can make him a better, honest, more realized person, then it absolutely made him an honest, more realized, yet more powerful storyteller. You gotta give James his $2 here. Don't shoot down a movie that hasn't even come out yet, come on. Okay, looking back, because now I can actually say it, I felt a lot like James Gunn and Rocket, I guess, during my high school days. Not exactly like them, but I get the feeling of refusing to peel off a certain layer of myself around anybody for a long time. And sticking to that perspective, that limiting belief for so long kind of bleeds into like other parts of my life, like even the creative aspect, like in my editing style. My craft got better, sure, with cuts and things like that, but where's the personality? Like me. It kind of got in the way I walked, talked, dressed, even ate food. Okay, I'm pushing it there, but you know, it was, I don't know. Maybe it was a need for me to be understood by things outside of me. People outside of me. And when I let that go, which took a while, the world mostly remained the same, obviously, but my world became something truly undeniable. Gosh dang it, I really want to make a Ratatouille video now. Anyway, senior year, blah blah blah, was a culmination of everything that came before, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. But amongst all the shenanigans, the love, the transformations, the near death of a passion, and frankly frivolous BS, I can say, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that nothing less than staying humble, curious, honest, and most of all, kind to people has brought me more joy. Even to people who sometimes don't deserve it. Helping people is one of my sick kicks, I guess. No reward, nothing, because the act itself is a reward. And I'm not saying this just to pander to this Superman video, I genuinely thought that. I mean, like, I feel like I've stretched myself out thin because of how much I'd love to just hang out with my friends, talk them through anything, talk with them about anything, and just be there for people. And after that, my creative mode blossomed for some reason. It's honestly like I'm painting more than editing sometimes. And on that canvas, I saw me. Like, me. I think that's also what Gunn's doing. Painting himself. Painting his passions, his love for life, people, animals, pets, what kindness has done to him and for him, all on the canvas of DC. But starting off with Superman. So, as long as you love what you do, keep in touch with yourself, the you only you know, I think you'll find your people. Your craft will be known, and the work put in will outlast any spiteful, hateful comment out there about you. Whether it's understood or not, I promise. And the older I get, the more I appreciate all the facets of Superman. So, yeah. I trust James Gunn. Hope you guys do too. Okay, bye. I'm done. Alright, see ya.